On a clear day, look up. High above, jets carve silent white lines across the sky. Some trails vanish quickly, others linger and spread, forming wispy clouds that can last for hours. For most, these are harmless byproducts of flight, but for others, they spark suspicion and unease. Why do some trails disappear while others persist? Why do they sometimes form grids over cities? Observers document these patterns, fueling debate and anxiety online. The sky, once a symbol of freedom, now carries questions. Are these lines just water vapor, or something more? This is where our story begins, with a simple act of looking up and wondering what's really happening above us. The controversy centers on the word chemtrail, a blend of chemical and trail. This term has become a lightning rod for debate, sparking heated arguments online and in communities around the world. For some, it's a symbol of hidden truths and government secrecy. For others, it's a sign of how misinformation can take flight and spread rapidly. Believers claim these are not ordinary condensation trails, but chemicals deliberately sprayed by governments or secret organizations. They point to the way some trails linger and spread, forming hazy clouds, as evidence that something more than water vapor is at play.
Theories range from weather control to population or mind control, all shrouded in secrecy. Some suggest that these chemicals are used to manipulate the climate, perhaps to create rain in drought-stricken areas or to prevent storms in others. Others believe the purpose is far more sinister, involving attempts to control or even harm populations. Some say chemtrails manipulate weather, steering storms or causing droughts for political gain. They argue that controlling the weather could be a powerful tool for governments or corporations, giving them the ability to influence agriculture, economies, and even the outcome of conflicts. Others allege more sinister motives, population suppression or psychological manipulation. These theories often include claims of chemicals designed to make people docile, sick, or more easily controlled, feeding into broader fears about surveillance and loss of autonomy.
Every official denial is seen as part of a cover-up, fueling further suspicion. When authorities or scientists attempt to explain the science behind contrails, their statements are often dismissed as propaganda or deliberate misinformation. And every scientist who disagrees is dismissed as complicit. The more experts try to debunk the theory, the more entrenched believers become, convinced that the truth is being actively suppressed. The absence of evidence is reframed as proof of a sophisticated conspiracy. In this worldview, the lack of concrete proof is not a weakness, but a sign of just how deep the cover-up goes. This self-reinforcing logic makes the theory hard to dislodge. It creates an echo chamber where doubts are amplified and alternative explanations are rarely considered. The chemtrail narrative thrives on secrecy, suspicion, and the idea that the truth is being hidden in plain sight. For many, it's not just about what's in the sky, it's about who controls the story, and who gets to decide what's real. The chemtrail theory, once confined to obscure corners of the internet and late-night message boards, has now burst into the public eye through real-world activism. What began as online speculation has evolved into a movement that refuses to be ignored. Across continents, passionate activists gather in city squares and public parks, their voices echoing through megaphones as they demand transparency and accountability from government officials. These protests, often drawing hundreds or even thousands, are a testament to the movement's growing influence.
Organizers work tirelessly to spread their message, handing out flyers, distributing pamphlets, and engaging curious bystanders in conversation. Their goal is to inform the public about what they believe are hidden dangers in the sky above. Online, these activists form tight-knit communities, sharing stories, research, and personal experiences. United by a shared concern for public health and the environment, they find strength in numbers and a sense of purpose in their cause. Influential figures, including politicians, celebrities, and social media personalities, have amplified the chemtrail theory, bringing it from the fringes into mainstream conversations. Their endorsements have given the movement unprecedented visibility.
Supporters often point to historical government projects such as Project Popeye, an operation during the Vietnam War that used cloud seeding to manipulate weather, as evidence that weather modification is not only possible, but has been done in secret before. These examples are cited as proof that governments have both the means and the motive to alter the environment without public consent.
This history, combined with a lack of transparency around current atmospheric research, fuels the belief that similar programs could be happening today, perhaps on an even larger, more global scale. For many, the past is a warning, not just a lesson. In 2024, the movement achieved a significant milestone when Tennessee passed a bill banning atmospheric chemical releases, a direct response to growing chemtrail concerns. This legislative action marked a turning point, showing that grassroots activism can influence state policy.
Similar proposals have surfaced in other states and countries, sparking debates in legislative chambers and city councils. Lawmakers are now forced to address questions that once seemed relegated to conspiracy forums. The rapid spread of these ideas online demonstrates the power of digital communities to shape public opinion and, increasingly, public policy. What starts as a viral post or trending hashtag can quickly become a topic of national conversation. The chemtrail debate is no longer just a fringe idea. It's influencing laws, shaping public discourse, and challenging officials to respond. The movement's reach now extends from the internet to the halls of government. Whether or not the science supports their claims, the impact of the chemtrail movement is undeniable. It has transformed from a niche conspiracy into a force that is actively reshaping policy and public awareness. To truly understand the ongoing debate about those mysterious white lines in the sky, we need to turn to science for clear answers. There's a lot of speculation, but the facts are straightforward.
The white trails you see behind jets are called contrails, which is short for condensation trails. These are essentially man-made ice clouds, created as a byproduct of modern air travel. Every time a jet soars through the upper atmosphere, it leaves behind these visible streaks, which can sometimes stretch for miles.
Contrails form when the hot, humid exhaust from jet engines meets the extremely cold air found at high altitudes. The water vapor in the exhaust instantly freezes, turning into tiny ice crystals that cluster together to form those familiar white lines. This process is similar to seeing your breath on a cold day, but on a much larger scale.
If the surrounding air is dry, these ice crystals evaporate quickly, causing the contrail to vanish in just a few moments. That's why sometimes you'll see a jet with only a short, faint trail behind it. But if the air is humid, the ice crystals linger, and the contrails can persist for hours. They may even spread out, merging with other contrails or natural clouds, and sometimes forming thin, cloud-like sheets that cover large portions of the sky.
This variability in contrail appearance and duration is entirely due to changing atmospheric conditions, like temperature, humidity, and wind, not because of any secret chemicals or hidden agendas.
Persistent contrails can even influence our climate by trapping heat in the atmosphere, much like natural cirrus clouds do. Scientists have studied their effects for decades, and their behavior is well understood within the scientific community.
The intricate patterns and varying longevity of contrails are all explained by the laws of physics and meteorology. There's no mystery, just the fascinating interaction between technology and our planet's atmosphere.
So what some people interpret as evidence of a secret plot is, in reality, a beautiful demonstration of atmospheric science at work, visible proof of how our world operates high above our heads. Weather modification exists, but not in the way chemtrail theorists often imagine or claim.
Cloud seeding, using substances like silver iodide to encourage rain, has been used for decades, but its effects are quite limited and localized.
It can't create clouds from clear skies or control large-scale weather events or patterns.
Solar geoengineering remains entirely theoretical, not secretly implemented anywhere.
A 2016 study of top atmospheric scientists found no evidence of any secret spraying programs.
Elements like aluminum and barium, often cited as supposed proof, have natural or industrial origins.
The scientific consensus is clear. The trails in the sky are contrails, not chemicals or secret agents.
The evidence for a global spraying program simply isn't there at all. If the science is so clear, why does the chemtrail theory persist?
Deep distrust of government, fueled by real historical abuses, creates fertile ground for suspicion. Conspiracy theories offer simple answers to complex problems, assigning villains and motives where reality is ambiguous. Our brains are wired to see patterns, and confirmation bias makes us interpret ambiguous evidence as proof.
Social media amplifies these beliefs, creating echo chambers where misinformation spreads faster than facts.
Influential voices can turn fringe ideas mainstream, making them hard to dispel.
The endurance of the theory says as much about human psychology as it does about the sky. Moving forward requires curiosity and critical thinking, not blind belief.
The chemtrail debate is a lesson in how we interpret the world in an age of information overload.
We must ask questions, but also seek answers grounded in evidence and expertise.
Engage with scientific explanations and be open to changing your mind.
Distinguish between credible sources and sensational claims.
The real secrets of the sky are found in physics and meteorology, not conspiracy.
Contrails remind us of our impact on the atmosphere, a real issue worthy of attention.
By focusing on evidence, we can face real challenges and see the sky as a marvel, not a menace.